Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now complete the equation for the cracking of heptane. How can you do this equation? Break this heptane into two components. One should be alkane and one should be alkene.
So the alkane can be the propane C3 and H8, and whereas the alkene can be butene C4H8.
Yes,
So when you add them together, you will get C7H16.
yes, yes. Okay, complete the equation for the cracking of heptane into hydrogen and two other products. One hydrogen is also leaving, but two other project. What would be the two other projects? Two other products.
The other products, if one is C5 and H10, C5 and H10.
Yes, C5 and what else?
C5 and H10 pentene. The alkene can be pentene, C5H10, and then the
Yes,
C4 H6,
yes.
pentene and ethane.
Okay. So suggest one reason why cracking is important.
Cracking is necessary because so that
Yeah.
uh, uh, mm, because they're used to make like polymers.
Of large molecules, whereas cracking is the breakdown of large molecules.
Yes.
So why it is important?
Uh, why cracking is so that it can break the larger hydrocarbons into smaller
So
pieces.
it is important because we can make some useful compounds from a larger one. You know that basically the crude oil is there.
Yeah, crude oil.
We petroleum from there. We can manufacture diesel or lubricating oil from there. So if we do the cracking of the breakdown of the larger molecules, it can be converted into a smaller molecules. So that smaller molecules are more useful as compared to those larger molecules. So in order to produce some more useful compounds, we do its cracking under certain conditions so that a useful compound can be produced.
Yeah.
Okay, now the new learning outcomes is about the chemical properties of alkanes. Alkanes are fairly unreactive. Trivial or common name of alkane hydrocarbon is paraffin. Now you know that they are usually unreactive. What is meant by unreactive?
They do not dissolve.
Not particularly dissolved, they do not react with in any case, right? They do not show any reaction uh, because they have complete outermost electrons and they have completed their shell, so they do not have any unreactive part that is being attached to it. Okay, the name is derived from a Latin word parum and affins, which means the affinity or reactivity. They have strong single covalent bond, meaning they are hard to break. Now, this is what I have already told you, that because they are a single hydrogen compound, carbon to carbon. If it would be a double carbon to carbon bond, this that will show that it is a chance of instability. So this is stable, and as a result of being a stable hydrocarbons, so they are hard to break, right? Because itself it is a stronger one, so it is hard to break. However, if there would be a double bond or a triple bond,
They're
that double
easily
and triple
breakable.
bond, it can be easily broken down, and because it can be easily broken down, once it is broken, it can easily we say that it is not stable and it can undergo certain reaction. So that is why alkenes can undergo a reaction easily as compared to the alkanes. So they have no reactive sites where the substances will attack them. Alkanes lack any functional group. So they don't have any functional group. That is why they are unreactive. And you know that for their reaction to occur, that is why we studied that they do that one needs to move out in order to have another attached to it, right? If one is not being moved out, the other is not being is going other is not going to attach with it. So for example, if the hydrogen is going to move out, then only is the case that it is going to attach any of the halogen. But if the hydrogen will remain fixed, so it means that there is no reaction. So that is why we say that this is unreactive, or no reaction takes place in over here. In the alkanes, we are done with it that there are two types of reaction. One is the combustion reaction, and the other one reaction is known as the halogenation reaction. For the combustion, we have studied that there are two types of combustion. One is the complete combustion and other is the incomplete combustion. Okay, now tell me, what are the products when incomplete combustion of hydrocarbon is there?
When incomplete hydrocarbon is there, carbon monoxide and water are the products.
Very good, very good. And if the complete, what will happen when the
When it's complete, carbon
complete?
dioxide and water is given off, I mean produced.
Yes, carbon dioxide and water is going to be produced. So, what is halogenation reaction?
Halogenation, it is a chemical reaction. Uh, is a chemical reaction which involves the reaction of a compound with a halogen.
Yes, it is a chemical reaction in which there is a substitution of a hydrogen with a halogen. Okay, so a reaction with a halogen is usually known as halogenation reaction. Okay, so now this is a type of a combustion reaction which they are showing us. So alkane makes useful fuels, especially shorter chain alkanes, for example, methane and propane. Okay, they have used the word exothermically. They react with oxygen exothermically.
Right.
What is meant by the word exothermically?
When the heat is given off.
Yes, exit. The word exothermically is derived from the word exit. So, in order to that the heat is exit from the surrounding material, so that is known as exothermical reaction. So,
And
greater the number of carbon. Yes.
and when the heat is produced, the temperature will increase. The surrounding temperature.
Yes. Yes. The greater number of carbon atoms, the more energy produced, but the more oxygen needed to for the complete combustion. Can you explain this statement? The greater number of carbon atoms, the more energy produced. We have discussed this yesterday as well.
Wait, let me think. They're trying to say is that when there are more number of carbon atoms, uh, the more energy is required.
Yes, because the larger the chain, the more the energy is required to break them down, right? And so the larger energy is going to be produced as well. But the more oxygen is needed to complete the combustion. So this is also more carbon atoms. Definitely, we need more oxygen for the reaction to proceed on and for the reaction to occur of regarding the combustion. Now we will look forward for the combustion equation. Now alkanes burn in the presence of oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. You can see this equation as well. This is for the complete combustion. And they have also given us the equation for the incomplete combustion of methane. When an incomplete combustion is there, so carbon monoxide and water is produced. Now tell me, Abdullah, which is more harmful?
incomplete.
Why? Why?
Because there isn't enough of the oxygen produced.
We are not concerned about the oxygen produced. Oxygen is not produced in the reaction.
I don't know. Or can it be the complete combustion?
Is complete combustion or incomplete combustion?
Incomplete combustion is more harmful
Why? Why?
because it releases much less energy compared to the complete combustion.
No, basically it releases carbon monoxide, right?
And which
And
is
that
poison.
carbon monoxide is harmful for our health because it forms when it attaches with the hemoglobin, it produces carboxyhemoglobin, and this carboxyhemoglobin ultimately decreases the oxygen carrying capacity of the humans. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So, however, the complete combustion of oxygen, it produces complete combustion of methane. It produces, though that is also harmful, but that only results in global warming. It is not harmful for the human body, right? So you should keep this in mind that the harmful effect is because of the carbon monoxide when it is attached with the water, when it is attached with the hemoglobin. So this ultimately causes the greater effect as compared to the carbon dioxide being produced. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, now incomplete combustion, when there is insufficient oxygen, carbon monoxide is produced. It reduces the blood oxygen carrying capacity. This is what I'm saying. And it becomes fatal. Obviously, when a lot of carbon monoxide is being produced, so it becomes dangerous for even to breathe in that particular environment. So carbon monoxide detectors are there. So in order to prevent that carbon monoxide is causing the harmful effect on the body, ultimately it results in the death of a person because oxygen carrying capacity is decreased. Are you a bio student or a computer student? What are your subjects?
Yes, I took both ICT and then the bio, even as well bio.
So I hope you are familiar with the hemoglobin, where it is present.
Hemoglobin?
Hemoglobin. What is hemoglobin?
Yes,
What is hemoglobin?
it is a protein inside our red blood cells, and then which carries oxygen uh, from the lungs to the tissues.
It basically carries oxygen from the lungs to the all part of the body. But you know, if oxygen is not going to attach with the hemoglobin, carbon monoxide is going to be attached, and it is a strong bond. As a result of which, when this strong bond is going to be produced, it ultimately affects the oxygen carrying capacity of the hemoglobin and harms the body.
Right.
Okay. Now it can also produce fine particles of carbon itself. These carbon particles, uh, these carbon particles or soot gives the characteristic yellow color of the flame. With hydrocarbon flames such as gas, the amount of oxygen supplied with the gas determines the rate of combustion, flame color, and temperature. Now, obviously, depending upon the amount of oxygen availability, we have to keep in mind that whatsoever the amount is available and the amount of oxygen available is clearly shown by the flame, the type of the flame that is going to be produced. If sufficient amount of oxygen is available, the flame will be brighter. However, if the incomplete amount of oxygen is there, there would be the inavailability of the proper flame color. Clear?
Yes.
Okay, now complete these equations. First, do it on the piece of a paper and send it to me for the complete combustion and balance them.
Where should I send? Email?
Yes, sir. Do it right now. Do it on the piece of a paper. Click the picture and send it to me.
Right. C2H6. P. mm, so it's complex. Four times 614.
Is it done, Abdullah?
Yeah, miss, I'm just taking it. I'm done.
Okay.
Miss, send it to you.
This O2 give rise to 4 CO2 and water, right? Carbon is balanced, and 6 to 12, 6 to 12, 8, and 6, 14, right? The first one is correct, and C3H8.
अब आप तैयार हो गए हो अब आपने शोर नहीं करना फुल लगे हैं हम सुबह सुबह
Okay, yes, all the 3 equations are correct. Good job. Okay, now see these equations that they are balanced now. Okay, now propane undergoes combustion reaction. It produces carbon dioxide and water, right? And then we'll balance the equation if the equation is required. Now, in order to have an incomplete combustion, it produces carbon monoxide and water as well, right? So you have to balance this equation as well. Now butane, C4H10, C4H carbon dioxide, and when it is having a complete combustion, then it produces carbon dioxide and water. However, when a butane is there and an incomplete combustion is there, it produces carbon monoxide and water. Now, the most important thing, you can also see from the equation by looking at the number of moles. See over here, there are 5 moles, and over here there are 7 moles against the 2 moles of propane. Against 2 moles of propane, there are 7 moles of oxygen. So it means that that less number of oxygen is required for the incomplete combustion. So this automatically shows that lesser number of oxygen is available. So that is why carbon monoxide is being produced in that case. Are you clear? If you're going to divide this 2 by overall equation, right? So over here, my purpose to explain you this point is that over here it is 3.5 moles.
Yeah, 3.5. Yeah.
Right? So yes. So what does this automatically shows that 3.5 moles against 5 moles. Right? 5 moles are there when we have complete combustion. When we have incomplete combustion, so it means there are 3.5 moles. The lesser number of moles are there. So insufficient oxygen is there, and as a result of which carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and water is going to be produced.
The carbon monoxide and water are going to be produced in a lesser amount.
Yes, yes.
And what about the one shown below, butane?
Same is the case with the butane as well. That you can see when we say that there is a complete combustion, so 13 moles of oxygen are required against 2 moles of C4H10. However, if 2 moles of C4H10 are there, 9 moles of butane are required. No, sorry, 9 moles of oxygen is required. So it means that lesser the oxygen needed, so the carbon monoxide is going to be produced. If the larger supply, if we have a sufficient supply of oxygen, a larger supply of oxygen, then as a result of which carbon dioxide is going to be produced.
Yeah,
Clear?
yeah, got it.
Okay, so same can be the scenario for
If there are 13 moles,
the, similarly, we can make a same situation. We can make a same equation for the pentane as well. The pentane also have, or in either any of the alkane family, it undergoes the same sort of reaction. Okay. Now, which what two products are produced in complete combustion?
um, carbon dioxide and water.
Complete combustion.
Incomplete carbon monoxide and water.
Okay. How can you test for the two products of complete combustion?
How can you test?
What is the test for carbon dioxide?
One can be like for complete combustion is that uh, if uh, if the like the sufficient amount of oxygen is produced, so you can get to know.
They are asking you to test the two products of complete combustion. It means they are asking you the test for carbon dioxide and water.
Oh, how to test the carbon dioxide? I don't get it.
If you pass carbon dioxide through lime water, it will turn milky,
Yeah.
right? And what is the test for water?
Uh, if water is produced, it will condense. Right. Unless we can test the water by evaporating.
No, but to check the water, that the water is present sulfate, and hydrous copper sulfate turns uh, blue in color. It is white in color, but when the water is present, it turns into blue, right?
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Well, write the equation for the complete and incomplete combustion of methane. We have done maximum time for this, so we're going to skip this one. Okay. Combustion, remember every carbon in the original hydrocarbon gives one carbon dioxide and every two hydrogen atom give a water molecule. So we need to write down the complete equation for the butane and propane. This we have already done. Now halogenation, the formation of haloalkanes. Why we say haloalkanes? Because a halogen is being attached to it. So for example, chlorine is attached with the methane. Now this is known as a substitution reaction. What will happen that carbon to hydrogen bond is going to be broken down,
Right.
and a bond is going to be formed, right? A halogen is going to be attached instead of the hydrogen. So hydrogen is substituted with a halogen that is known as chlorine, for example. Now the first reaction that it undergoes substitution is basically a series of reaction, a stepwise reaction that occurs, and in this case the main condition is UV light or sunlight. What basically sunlight do, it breaks down the chlorine molecule and attach itself with the methane molecule. Now methane is having CH4.
Yeah.
C is attached with 4 hydrogen. Now chlorine Cl2 molecule is just broken down, and as a result of which what will happen, CH3Cl is going to be produced, and the remaining hydrogen is going to be attached with the Cl. So it means that one of the hydrogen is replaced with the monochloromethane, is going to react with more chlorine, and as a result of which dichloromethane is going to be produced. Why we are saying dichloromethane?
Mm. Dichloromethane, because two of the chlorine atom replaces the elements of hydrogen.
Very good. Because two of the chlorine are being replaced, so two chlorine are present in the structure, so di. That is why we say dichloromethane. Next is trichloromethane, because one more hydrogen is going to be replaced with the chlorine. So as a result of which trichloromethane is going to be produced. And ultimately the last step, all the hydrogen is going to be replaced with the chlorine. So as a result of which the product is tetrachloromethane. Is it clear to you, beta, stepwise reaction?
Yes. Yeah.
The ethane as well, and maximum the Cambridge people, they can ask you for the methane and ethane only if they are asking you for the stepwise reaction. However, in other case they can give you any other compound, but if they ask you to write down all the steps for the reaction, so only methane and ethane. As you know that in methane 4 steps were there, and obviously in ethane there would be 6 steps. Are you clear?
Uh, can you say it again, Max?
I'm saying that in this case, in the case of methane molecule, because the 4 hydrogen atoms were present, so 4 hydrogen atoms were replaced with the chlorine. So that is why there were 4 steps. If methane is going to be replaced with the ethane, and in ethane there are 6 hydrogen atoms. So 6 hydrogen atom is going to be replaced with the chlorine. So there would be 6 steps in this reaction. So I'm saying that Cambridge people usually ask you for methane or ethane only. They don't give you any other bigger reactions for bigger stepwise reaction, because obviously if they are asking you to make a stepwise reaction, there would be some 4 or maximum 6 steps. They won't involve in the larger number of steps. Are
Yeah.
you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So once this reaction starts, the change in is being replaced, forming a mixture of haloalkanes. Now, when we are talking about the total mixture, in that mixture, all 4 compounds will be there. There might be some chloromethane, some dichloromethane will be present, right? Because every reaction is going on at the same time. We are not going to stop the reaction. Neither we are going to stop it at chloromethane, nor we are going to stop at trichloromethane. So when we are going to analyze the entire solution, we'll see that some of it is having be having dichloromethane, some tri and some tetrachloromethane molecules will be present in the solution. So if we need to separate them, that I need only trichloromethane molecule from the entire solution. So obviously I'll be doing fractional distillation, a process through which the molecules are separated on the basis of their boiling points. So how many and what would be the products be if ethane, now you tell me, this is what I have discussed already with you. How many, first of all, the first part of a question is how many and what would be the product of ethane produced in the bromine in the presence of UV light.
So we know the ethane is mm, ethane is C2H6 and bromine is let's say if it's Br2. So wait,
So
wait, So two of the bromine molecules will replace two of the hydrogen molecules, yeah, elements.
Ultimately, how many products? They are asking how many products will be there and what would be the products. How many? First of all, tell me
Two products.
the number, the names of the products. Sorry?
Two products will be formed.
Peter, how can be two? You can
So
see that in the case of methane, there are 4 products. So what about in the case of ethane?
mm, six.
6. And what would be the name?
So it's with hexa, hexabromoethane.
Just done the names. You have just done the names of all 6 in the um, assignment that I have given it to you.
What do you mean, miss?
You are just going to tell me the names of all the 6 products that are going to be produced when a bromine is reacted with ethane.
So for the first one, it will be monobromoethane, then dibromoethane, then tribromoethane, tetrabromoethane, pentabromoethane, and at last hexabromoethane.
Yes, yes. So this is what they have shown you, and you have to write down the names of these products.
Yeah. So much we are done with today.
Yeah, we are done with today. Anything else you want to ask about this thing, about this concept, about the chapter?
No, no, no. And
Okay,
miss,
so Alhamdulillah, we are done with this
my
bit.
mom, my mother wants to talk to you.
Good.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you. How are you? So, how's doing
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
Abdullah? He's able to catch up with you and following the assignments?
Yeah, mashallah, he's doing the assignment side by side. I'm trying to work on his weak areas, and the way we have. Initially, I was teaching it from my own presentations, but he was comfortable with his presentation, whatever the task he is getting.
Okay.
He's
So,
providing me of the presentation in this week.
yeah, he has total, I think, 13 PowerPoints and
Yeah.
some worksheets he must have told you. So, will he be able to finish in this like 12 classes, or what do you say?
It depends upon the rest of the presentations too.
He didn't
If
send
we
it
are
to
going to
you?
go, yes, actually, if we are going to go with the same pace, in the 4 lessons we have done 3 presentations, right?
Yeah.
So probably we can complete set time. Obviously, 12 lessons means we can complete it, but still, I'll see if the presentations are pretty long and the topics are in detail. So, obviously, that would require more time, and it also depends upon his understanding ability as well. If Abdullah is clear with the concept early, so obviously, then I'll go ahead and will give him some homework task or assignment. But if he needs a more clearing of the concept, so obviously I need to revise the topic again, and so that his concept will be more clear.
Okay, so we want to start biology also for the A levels. So do you teach the subject or you recommend someone else for that?
I do teach biology for A levels, but obviously that requires another extra time.
Yeah.
Whether is he going to appear in biology from the Edexcel, or is he going to do it from GCSE?
Cambridge.
Okay,
Cambridge.
Cambridge, GCSE.
Yeah.
Okay. Started it in his school.
Now, their session will start in September actually. But
Okay, so he needs to have take the concept early
yeah,
before
usually,
starting it in the school.
in Pakistan, there is also trend. Usually, students after matric or O levels in the summer
Yeah.
vacation time, they try to cover the maximum course before the session starts. So
Yes,
he
yes, I
also
can
want to do
understand
the
that.
same, yeah, as much as he can cover in these vacations. Uh, that's why
Okay,
I'm,
let
yeah,
me. Yes,
that's
I can teach biology. Let me see the entire syllabus, or the at least the initial syllabus, because A levels comprises of AS level and A level.
yeah.
Let me see the syllabus outline, because
Okay.
I have taught A levels biology before, but not in this year. So probably there might be some change in the syllabus because of
Okay, so
the
it's
printed
okay. You
syllabus
can
as well.
just
So
take your time and review the syllabus, and then let us know in few couple of days.
okay.
And beside that, I don't know whether you have this much time or not with, I mean, the small baby, because we want to start physics, chemistry, and bio, all these three subjects for A levels. So that's why I'm discussing with you. If it's feasible for you and you can cope up, then fine. Otherwise, you can give us recommendation for some other teacher and we can contact that.
As far as for A levels biology is concerned, inshallah, I'll try to give you the time for it. But for the physics and the chemistry, I'll recommend one of my. She's not my colleague. Basically, she's one of the person who give tuitions to the who recommend the teachers. She also used to
Maria?
recommend
You are
Maria.
talking
Yeah.
Maria. Okay, Maria's contact. It's okay. Just send her number again to my mobile number. Then I will contact with her. And
So the edit my.
yeah,
Okay.
so for like if we start with biology, like uh, Saturday, Sunday, usually Friday, Saturday, usually it's off day, and so 5 days a week, like 5 classes in a week, and that will count for in a month. I think 20 classes, 20 to
Yes.
22 classes. So how you will proceed for that? I mean, what will be the package for?
Actually, levels there is yes. This is what I'm going to tell you that for O levels, obviously the package is different, which I have already told you 5,000 per subject. But
Yeah.
obviously for A levels, it usually varies because I'll be starting with AS level, so I'll be taking 7,000 per subject. Otherwise, for the complete A level, it is 8,000 per subject. So for the biology, I'll be teaching just biology. So that would be 7,000 per subject.
So that includes how many classes? Like that includes,
For biology, because obviously I have to carry this chemistry along with the biology,
yeah,
and
yeah.
doing two subjects. Then what I'll do that I'll take biology on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 3 classes.
Okay.
However, I'll be 3 classes per week. So it means that again 12 classes. For 4 weeks, there will be 12 classes. However, for this chemistry, there are 4 days and 1 hour class daily on from Monday till Thursday.
Okay. So it's okay. So um, just uh, just see how the things work for you. Like right now, you are not able to take more classes than this. I think it will not be feasible also for you. I think so.
Yeah, and then that's why I just want to focus on the subject that what I am taking right now,
Yeah,
because obviously I want to give the
yeah,
proper time, and
yeah, I
I want
understand
to
that.
satisfy my student for it as
Yeah,
well.
it's okay.
So
It's okay. Yeah,
if that would be feasible for me, then I'll let you know.
Yeah, sure. And then send me the Maria's contact number as well. Okay.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Sure.
I'll
Thank you
send it.
so much. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.